Welcome to Quest 2 Review. Last week we took a look at tags. Okay, they're a very important aspect of HTML. We're always going to have what's called the opening tag. Here I am in the opening tag, and yeah, that's right. We got these brackets on the sides of it, and that's just saying this is the tag itself. Now let's go take a look at what it looks like in the closing tag. So here I am in the closing tag. We still got the brackets, but we also have a slash. Now it's important to understand that slash is going to indicate that that is the closing tag. Now, everything between those tags, right here, I am the content. I'm going to be the information that gets held in these tags. And this whole thing, all right, that's an element. Understand this as we go through this course because we're going to be building on a lot of these different tags. We're going to learn about a whole bunch of different ones. And then we're going to also learn about the attributes that go into each tag. So it's not always just this opening tag, it's going to have some more things about it that describe it. We already learned a little bit about it when we were working with the links, but that's a little bit more that we can talk about in the coming week. What I wanted to do was just talk about what we had done in class last week. We did two kind of things. One, we went and we were able to do some exercises in class right from the book. That was great, We were able to read along and type up some information and then submit and look at it in the browser, and that was great. But you know what? It's going to be tough to learn HTML code that way because all you're having to do is just regurgitate information that's in the book, and you're not really having to bend your mind to try to figure out what's making this actually work. So that's why I added the objectives as well. The objectives are going to give you really good samples of code that you can jump into yourself, try to fix the errors, try to fix the issues that are wrong with the code. So I know it frustrated a lot of you. It sucked because you're looking at all this markup that you've never seen before, maybe just a little bit. You're not sure if it's right or it's wrong. It's just like what's up from down. But I'm going to tell you, that's how you're going to learn it. And it's not going to be as easy as doing it from a book when you go out in the actual fields because you know what? You're going to get some nasty code and you're going to have to figure out how to deal with that code, structure it so that you can take a look at it, figure out what's wrong with it, and that's what those objectives are about. So you need to spend your most time trying to figure out these objectives as best you can. Now, I did talk with a lot of you, and that's fine. I understand, there's going to be questions, and we're going to try to figure this out together. That's what I'm here for. But I want you to do your best to try to just think about it and think about the things that we've done and look through the lines of code. So let's go through the objectives. We got it right up here. This is what this page should look like once it is complete. You notice that all the pictures are in there. We got a lot of good information in regard to web design in here. So how did we get this all fixed up? Well, let's jump into Blackboard because that's a common theme. You're going to be jumping into Blackboard a lot. You're going to use Blackboard so that you can figure out what I want you to do in the code. I mean, some of you didn't read the directions. You just need to go down to the quest. So here we go into our quest area. And then you need to go in the right quest. So here we go into quest 2. And I'm going to look at our quest 2 objective. So if you read through here, I gave you some things to look for that was wrong with this particular file. Also some other instructions of what to do once you were completed. And then there's the assignment file. So here we're just going to work locally. I'm going to download this assignments file. I'm just going to right click and I'm going to save this link and I'm going to save it to my desktop. All right, save to desktop. And now I'm going to take a look at my objective 2. So you all had this objective 2. This is how I would love for you to take these assignments in the future once you have these objectives in hand. Go ahead and unzip the file because I'm always going to have to zip it up so you can have a few files in there. And then I would want you to just duplicate that exact file again. Why are you going to duplicate it? Well, because this is the one that you want to download and reference in case you mess something up in this copy that you have. And if you really just completely tank this copy, you could throw it away and you have another copy. So it's just about playing and having some failures and having some experimentation. Do things that you don't really know what will happen just because you're making some conjectures. Like, what if I take this tag out? What's going to happen? Well, oh, that breaks everything. So go put that tag back in. All right, you got that point. Here we go. We're going to go into this copy folder and we can see all the information for our file. So I told you not to mess with CSS or JS. That's already easy. So the only two things we got to work with are index and images. So the very first thing I see is like, oh man, well there's no HTML in this particular web page. That's because there's a .txt. So very first error, go ahead and change that to .html. I'm going to change that up. There we go. And then it's going to ask us, hey, you're changing the file. Of course, yes, I know what I'm doing. Put it to HTML. That's looking a little bit better. So now I can actually open up this document and let's see what it looks like. Uh-oh, we got some errors. All right, so let's fix the errors in this file in Quest 2's objective. Now, I'm just going to look and I see that there's some issues here. I already can kind of tell that there's probably some items that should be missing. There's only a homepage link. There might be a few more. I see objective banners missing. And reading through, you're going to find out that some of these other images are missing and they need to be fixed. So let's fix the file. How are you going to do that? Well, the very first thing you need to do is you need to go and you need to open this index file. So I'm actually going to right click on it or command click on it, and then I can get this menu and I'm going to open it right in Text Wrangler. Files open in Text Wrangler. Fantastic. Now I can start taking a look at this code and seeing what's messed up with it. Well, you can see there's my HTML, everything's good. I'd already looked at the hints. It said that I wasn't going to be changing too much code, so that's good because I'm not ready. I hadn't figured out what all these codes and these different tags meant. But I can easily see that there's this nice structure, so I could go through line by line. It's really easy to read. Let's find that home page. I know that was a link on there. There it is, home page. Remove this comment tags to display the content. Okay, so I got it, comment tags. We talked about this in class. If you just look right here at nav, you'll see that this tag at the beginning is actually saying this is the start of a comment. The word nav is the comment. We could put anything that we'd like in between these tags. And then this is the closing tag. It really just makes it so that once the browser goes through here, if it sees this particular tag at the front, it says, oh, comment in here, and it'll run through until it finds the end of that comment. So if you look through here, it says remove this comment tag to display the content. I'll go ahead and remove that right there. I don't want to remove the actual tag itself because the tags itself are in the comment. You notice they're just commented out. So if I delete that, it's going to bring all those tags right next to each other. That's looking good. And then I can go ahead and remove this last back end of it, of the comment, and delete that. So that should fix our links. We're going to take a look at that in just a second. If you remember, though, we were also looking at the banner. So let's see if we could figure out what's going on with that banner. Going down, I see, oh, there's banner copy, so that must be mean the text that was to the left of that banner. There it is, errors in this page, fix them up. Yep, that's right, that's the text. So the image banner should be pretty close. There it is, banner image, going through, image, source. So there should be an images folder next to this index file because it's saying to look in the images directory and look for a word called banner.jpg. Alright, well, let's go see if that's there. I'm going to hit File and Save because I made that change up here and remove some comments. And I'm going to go take a look real quick and see where my page is at. Well, yeah, the banner's still messed up, but we got this home page. Let's do our little refresh. I'll hit this refresh key right up here. Oh, awesome. So we brought back our navigation. That's great. The banner image is still an issue. So let's go take a look at that directory that we have for this file. Here we go. We do have some files in here, but let's make sure that we have the right file. So it's important to understand that we do have this images directory, and it's right next to index. So that means that we can actually link directly into it by putting just images and then slash, and then we can figure out what other files are in there. So images, oh, there's the issue. We don't have a banner.jpg in there. We have a banner with a capital B. If we change that by clicking it once, twice, we can go in there and I can just make some quick changes. Take the capitalization away, add the extra N, and that should fix my banner now because it's referencing directly to that in the code. Let's check it out in Firefox. We'll do a refresh. Awesome, got my banner back. So you see, I just needed to make sure the file name was there and named correctly, and then it comes back in my code. All right, let's take a look at these particular things. So I should be able to find some information or some copy that says fix images in the text, responsive design, and Algord zombie. Okay, so let's go and see in our text file, in our text editor, what's going on. Need to find something. Okay, here we go. Fix images in the next 3 panels. Awesome. So here's the first one. We knew that by just looking at the code, we're looking at this one right here. What is going on with this? Why is the image not there? So going back into my code, I'm going to look. Here it is, image, sources. We're looking for images, features, picture 1. Okay, so, picture 2. So we need to find that picture 2. It has to make sure that it's in the folder called images, also in a folder called features, and then we should find picture 2. Let's go look at our directory again. Okay, so here's our images folder. What Pictures 2 is in just that folder? It should actually be in this features folder. That's why, because the reference is wrong. It's telling me to look in images and then in features and find picture 2. But in fact, images has the picture 2 folder. So I just need to take that picture and put it right into the features directory. Now we got it in the right directory. Let's go look back in our code for a second and see if we can figure out what's going on with these other 3 images. All right, the next one was responsive design. Looking back over it, in this one, this is where we're at. We're trying to fix this image right above it. So in the code, we got image source. All right, here's the image issue. It's looking in a folder that doesn't exist. We don't have that in our directory structure. It has to be images, so we'll call that images. All right, features picture 3, so that should fix it. Now if we go down, we already know that this is the Algord zombie one we're looking at. We have images, features, picture 4. So pictures 2, 3, and 4 should exist in this images, features, picture area. All right, so let's go figure that out and see if that's the case. We got pictures 1, 2, 3, but where's picture 4? Oh, there it is. It's outside of that particular feature, so I got to put it back into features. Now we have all those images in the right place. All the code seems to be matching up, so I'm just going to do a file, save, make sure you got that saved up, and let's jump into that document, and let's refresh. I'm going to do my refresh up here. Awesome, we got my pictures back. So we figured out how we can get those pictures back, and I bet you it's going to be pretty similar for the things down here. I don't need to go through those. I know that you can do the exact same through those images. I mean, I can do it real quick for you. If we go down into those, you find that image, you gotta go images gurus picture 6, images gurus picture 7, images gurus picture 8. So if you look in your directory structure, let's just make sure that those are actually in the right areas. Well, you know what? They're not. It looks like picture 6 right here is not in the gurus. So there we go. Picture 7 right here, that's not in the gurus. Put those in the gurus just like the code says. You have to look in the code for this. 6, 7, and 8. That should fix that issue. So go back to the code. Let's do a refresh. And our pictures come back. So we've now fixed all the code in this particular page. Now the only other thing that was asked to be done is to change some of the tags with your own information. So you would just have to find these tags in the code. So going back into the code, let's go find that Algord zombie again. There it is. You can just put your name. So I'll put my name, Adam Pocious, and then I am going to type in a little bit of information about myself. So it asked me to take out this particular tag because you know what? We don't need it in the code, so we'll take out this entire tag. Go ahead and highlight everything here and delete it. And there we go. Deleted the tag, and I can put a little bit of information about myself. I'm not the best of typists, so I will go ahead and do that real quick. All right, I've added my information. I'm going to save my document. And now I'm going to take a look at my finalized web page. If I go ahead and refresh this, awesome. My information was able to be updated and all the images are now in the document and I can complete my task. So the last thing of the task is to upload this to our FTP. Now a lot of you are having some issues with the FTP and understanding what it's all about. Well, let me hopefully explain for you one last time how this works. We've done all the changes. We've done them all locally. We've looked at the file. So all we have right now is this folder, and we've been looking at all these files. We had to make sure everything was referencing each other. So by clicking on this index, we're able to locally look at the web page, make sure everything's working great. It does. So the next step is to now host this on a server so we can get our particular web page to display in the URL. So how do you do that? You open FileZilla. Now FileZilla is just a client. All it is, it's like a little tunnel that says, here's everything on my computer here. I want you to put it on this other computer that's a server out there. And then you have to look at those files through your browser. This is just transferring the files. Then you minimize this, you go to your browser and you make sure that your URL is working. Okay? So I'm going to open this up. On this particular computer, I'm going to have to go into my particular area here so I can see my objectives. So in class, I'll have to show you how you can get to your desktop directory, but here I am in that directory online. So here's my local files. Now I need to log in, so I'll click on this guy. I have my code and information. I can connect to my FTP. Remember, you just put in your code so that you'll bring up your FTP, and I'll hit OK. So now we've logged in. Here's my Quest 2. Here's my objective. And now I'm looking at both sides of this objective. And what I want to do is I want to take everything from this side and put it onto my server. So it's just as easy as right-clicking on this particular objective and hitting upload, or double-clicking it, and it's going to try to shoot it over into that other side. Now I'm getting a warning. It's letting me know that I'm going to overwrite my file. That's fine. I know that I fixed it, so I am going to overwrite it. Now I've overwritten the file on the server, but those images and those other information that I had rearranged in images over here, it's changed. So I could just upload this whole folder in there, and it'll upload. And what's going to happen, it's going to say, hey, there's all these conflicts because you're going to overwrite all these different documents in that folder. And that's fine. We want to do that because we know that we've actually made changes to those documents. So I'm going to hit always use this action. I'm going to hit OK, and it's going to do all those uploads onto your server. Now, if you want to make sure that all the uploads are complete, I showed you these 4 buttons at the top. This 4th button here, it's going to show you how many queued files there have been and how many successful transfers there have been. So as long as there's nothing in the queued or nothing in the failed with the parentheses after it, it means you got all your server files up there. So let's go and check if we've actually put it on the server. So I'm going to keep this up because this is important. We are in Q2 objective, and this is on my server. And I've already told you that we're on this Gamify EDU server, and I showed you what your URLs are. So if I go into this particular document, go into the address bar, and I'm going to put http / Gamify. I should just say Gamify because everyone puts an E when they start typing in edu.org/. So we are in the 232 course, and then you're going to put in your last name. So mine is azombie for right now, and then I'll put my slash, and now we're in your directory. So we can start talking about how to get right exactly to that objective. So we called it Q2, and then we have a slash, and then we put objective. Now, the fact that we put objective in there is fine because there's an index file that's in that objective folder, so it automatically should bring up the page. So I'll hit enter, and we brought up our file on the server through the FTP. So this is then what you would take, and you'd copy that guy, and you'd go right back into your Blackboard Learn, and you look for your objective, and you can start your submission if you haven't already done that. And in that submission field, you'll go down to your text area, you will paste that particular, you know what, this is a great example. I right click and try to paste, but you have to do the shortcuts to be able to actually paste into the browser. So I'm going to go over here, Command V, and I'm going to paste my link into the objective area. I'll also highlight that objective. I can go ahead and click the insert link, and that's going to allow me to put in that link again. So this is where I want it to link to, and I want to link it into a blank frame, and then I'll insert, and then finally I will submit, and I'm done with my assignment. So that's going to cover the objective. I know that was a little long-winded. If you skipped through it because you already knew it, that's awesome because I'm proud that you're able to figure out that on your own. If you didn't figure it out on your own, really try to review this. Try to do that a little bit more. You could download this assignment and try it again. See if you look through that code, make the adjustments, make it work again. You don't need to resubmit it. This is for your knowledge. So thanks for checking out Quest 2 review. We're going to be doing a lot of cool stuff in Quest 3. Quest 3 should be up at this point, so enjoy, and I will see you on Tuesday.